We are witnessing history as we know it change in Phantom Parade, and this is not clickbait. Kusakabe's kit actually got changed and buffed. So we're gonna go through it. Basically, for new units, like actual new characters, they do showcases. They do character showcases exactly 2 days before they come out. So in 2 days time at 2 a.m. EST on the 30th, we're gonna have Kusakabe in game. And basically, they actually changed the skills for the first time ever. First time ever. And by the way, just to make sure you're aware, I'm going to be streaming Kusakabe's release at 1:45 a.m. EST. Very early, I know. Now, keep in mind, we're going to be going over his kit 100%. Now, I'm only summoning and showcasing him live if he's good. I'm not summoning on a unit pre-Annie if he's bad, so maybe it's just going to be a kit reveal stream, and then afterwards I stop. But if he's really good, which I expect him to be, I'm summoning, without a doubt. I mean, already what we know, and with these buffs you're going to see in the video, I think it's going to be a must summon for me as a paid player and someone who's a content creator. Now, yeah, I mean, just go down below in the description or the comments, like the stream, and then also, even if you can't show up, like the stream and turn on notifications if you do plan on showing up. And I'll see you guys at the stream in like 2 days for an actual stream unit. So every single stream we've gotten in the past that has showcased units, the actual like what they've done and the buffs they've had have not changed. This is the first time that we've seen this, right? And I've been in the community now for almost a year, which is crazy. So since November of 2024, every single stream from that point onwards has not had this happen, which is very interesting because to me, it tells me that they are like, they wanted Kusakabe to be really good because the changes they made are completely positive in my opinion. So let's go through this and, you know, I'm going to let this play out once. And then afterwards, we'll go through it. So basically, that right there showed the changes. But like here, just watch the gameplay, right? Just watch the gameplay. I think that's it. Then we see the. I actually really like that wreck bit. Not gonna lie, looks pretty good. That one too. Both of them look really good. And then we got the ult, which some people hated. I kind of like it. I do think it's nice. There's a bit of motion going on. So you know we take it around here. So it was actually this right here that confirmed 3 changes that we're gonna be going through in today's video. We see them all right here, and I'm going to give you guys a second to see if you could spot the changes, and then we'll be able to go into this. So here we go. This is the new one, and this is the old one. So right away, there's the skill 1 changed, the skill 3 changed, and the ult changed. I'm going to be arguing that they're all good changes for the most part. So let's kind of just get into this. So what did we know about Kusakabe? Let's talk about what's still confirmed. And basically, it seems that the things that were on the graphic are not changed. So it seems that what could change is basically the skill information, but what they don't change, I think, is what's on this right now. So the 150% damage increase, is there another image? I mean, I don't know if it's here, but essentially like the 150% damage increase alongside also the, yeah, it doesn't seem like they posted it on Twitter. 150% damage increase and what the skill 2 does, that doesn't seem to have changed, but everything else has changed. First time ever. So what do we see? So first of all, we see in the skill 1 that the CE has changed, which means this one now, we're getting it for multiple turns. Before you could see here, this is the one from before, and it was only 2 sparkles, but now there's sparkles on the bottom left, which means that we're getting it for multiple turns. So in terms of only the skill 1, what we have right now is that it's going to be 5 CE once to 5 CE for 2+ turns. My guess, only 2 turns. This is insane. You get 10 CE for using your skill 1. And you have to keep in mind, for yellow, this is really good because we have someone, a little buddy boy himself called Kaido. Oh my god, I'm actually shaking. So Kaido obviously gives us the like 38 CE twice for I think 76 total. And now Kusakabe seems to be completely self-sufficient for CE in tower and also in sweep, which is really good, right? Now, the skill 2 does not seem to have changed. We could see it right here, right? I think before, apologies. So we could see it right here. We could see the buff, right? Oh, I guess my bad. I guess they did the skill 3 first into the skill 2. You could see that the buffs are all the same, right? Let's check it out. But essentially, grant this, the effects to self and override turn counter for used. So you get the simple domain, the counter stayed 4 turns 2 times, ranged attack interception, increase own taijutsu, decrease own jujutsu damage received, and domain continuous effect nullification. So just want to make sure it's clear. This guy is not dying. He can't, like, I want to make sure it's clear. He can't die. Unless there's a boss that only AoEs, guys, he counters and then ranged attack interception, which to me means he counters melees and he blocks ranged attacks. So all that could hit him is AoEs. Like, how is he dying? He literally can't die. He can't. He can't. So that's already good. They did not need to change it. And then we do see the skill 3 changed. We do see the skill 3 changed for the better. So before it was 15 CE. And now it's 20 cursed energy, but with the alt gauge. Now you might be like, oh, that sucks to increase the cursed energy, but keep in mind, you get more cursed energy from your skill 1. And the lowest amount of CE that you could get usually is 5, right? I don't think we've gotten something that gives lower. So my estimate is that we're going to get 10 CE from this instead of 5, right? Before we got 5, now we're getting 10, which means that extra 5 is to make up for the skill 3, because they decided to give him the skill 3 so he could get his alt a bit quicker, is my understanding. And this works very well. This is like beautiful. I much rather have that extra 5 CE for one thing in particular, and that's because of like-minded sisters. If you're going to run them with DPS memory, right, this one, it's going to be insane. Guys, you get 200 alt gauge after every crit. Guess what? He wants the crit, so my guess is he's going to have crit rate still, right? And that means it's going to be easier for this guy to crit. And since he's taijutsu, this works for him perfectly. So you get the damage on the ult, you get your alt gauge quick. And since you're already getting extra alt gauge now on this skill 3, which is insane, by the way, right? And the skill 3, if we check it out, is 5 hits. So there's a good chance that you actually do crit on this skill 3. I do find it funny, guys. Why are they fighting like yellow disadvantage, right? Like we see right here. Where is it? Actually, hold on. Let me see this. So I think it's like, yeah, they're fighting yellow disadvantage. They don't crit, right? They don't show what we're getting. They don't even show the damage buff. Like, this is such a shitty showcase, but I digress. So the skill 3 doing 5 hits and giving alt gauge for yellow is insane. Because keep in mind, what does yellow have in their back pocket? Oh, I think I know. By the way, we were just blessed by the god himself, Jogo, with the best art in the game. Guess what yellow has, right? They have Shoko. So Shoko, remember, on her alt gives the alt gauge, which is going to be ridiculous alongside Kusakabe, who is going to give himself alt gauge alongside this, where he has probably a higher chance to crit than most. So I think that's very good. So skill 3 has changed to where before 15 CE to 20 CE. And now we get an alt gauge increase buff. So this is huge. If it's only for him, that's fine. But if it's for the whole team, oh my god, we're going to have to see. But what we know right now is we're going to assume the buffs are only for him. And just that is fine. Just giving it to himself is more than fine for me. I mean, listen, it's going to be insane. He's going to get his ult very quick. Already Yellow Yaga gets his ult quick. Right, with like-minded sisters, I ran like-minded on Yaga because it's very good for him, especially because he does a lot of hits, which is, it gives him a better chance. But overall, like, this on Kusakabe is insane. I can't wait to run like-minded. Oh my god. And then the ult, the final thing. So it shows a crit rate buff, and that was all they had before, but now it shows a taijutsu buff. The one thing is we do not know if we're going to get the crit rate buff still. So for right now, what we could imagine is that the ult is going to have the taijutsu buff, but we don't know for the crit rate buff. It's unknown if it was still there or if it was removed. We'll have to see. That we have to see. However, the skill 3 giving you the alt gauge buff is going to let him ult more. Alongside his skill 1 giving 10 CE is insane. Minimum 10. Imagine it's 3 turns. Oh my god. Only imagine, right? Because I don't think it's happening. So then we put all these things together, and now it's like, okay, so his skill 2, let me make it bigger now. So we went through it. His skill 2 gives him taijutsu. His alt gives him taijutsu. He's a crit unit, which means he could still do good damage with that. And then he gives a damage buff. I mean, this damage buff, if you get 1 crit in 3 turns, is permanent. Permanent. You're never gonna let go of it, right? And if the ult either has very high crit chance or a guaranteed crit, I think you're in business. I really do. So I'm very excited to see how exactly this is going to work. The only way they could cuck him is giving him less than 40% crit rate. If he has 40% crit rate on his skill 3 and shit, but he has a crit rate buff, I think that's fine, personally. He just needs 1 crit, and, you know, I think it's going to be chill. I would say that this guy is looking like kind of right now high tier 0.5 to tier 0. These buffs are insane because this skill 1 increase is amazing for tower, and guess what we're getting? Tower next month. The skill 2, he's immortal because there's the counter plus ranged attack interception. He literally can't get hit besides AoEs right now. Now this is a new skill. We're gonna have to see if it works differently, but for right now, insane. Skill 3 giving the alt gauge is kind of what I wanted, because I was like, even in my stream and video, I'm like, yo, the skill 3 gives nothing. It's kind of ass. And I was like, maybe it's just going to be really high damage. But now if it gives alt gauge and good damage, I'm all for it. And the alt giving taijutsu makes me hope that what he is going to be is essentially a more glorified Yellow Yaga. Yellow Yaga is maybe one of the best sub DPSs in the game. And if we get someone like Kusakabe, who's able to do like 2 to 3 times the damage that Degumi does, I think it's going to be worth it to run Kusakabe for those pay to wins and people who get lucky, because this damage being pretty much permanent unless you somehow miss 1 crit in 3 turns is definitely going to be really good. And the ult giving taijutsu, like having double taijutsu buff makes it seem like he's going to be all about doing damage while buffing, right? He's going to be like the most interesting, like, and unique sub DPSs, because no one else has had 100% uptime. No one else could have 100% uptime for free, because he gets the buffs outside of his kit, right? He gives the AoE buffs outside of his skills, which is really nice how it's in the passive, right? Which we haven't had that before. I think it's pretty unique. And if he does good damage, we're in business for sure. I think Yellow didn't really need it, to be honest, but I think that with Toji, this could be really good. Because Yellow Toji, for buff floors, he gives himself the Taijutsu buff, and on tower, this is going to be amazing with Kusakabe, because now Toji's going to have a permanent damage and Taijutsu buff, so his damage probably is going to be much better on Yellow floors in the future with Kusakabe, so that's good. But even for Zonji, right? I mean, if Kusakabe does really good damage, which it seems they're kind of making it like that's what it's going to be, because if they're giving him taijutsu here and we have the double taijutsu buff, right, I think he's going to be really good. Multiple CE turn buff is insane. This guy's never going to run out of CE in sweep. Literally impossible. And then in tower, I mean, you build up CE, like you use the skill 1 for 3 or 4 turns and suddenly you're never running out of CE either. So, I mean, overall, very good kit. I'm extremely happy with these buffs. Skill 1 buff, skill 3 buff, ult buff, very cool. If they remove the crit rate from his ult though, that's going to be a bit worrying, but we'll have to see. Now, there's also a hope, to be fair, that his passive got buffed to like 200% damage boost. That would be insane. But even 150, like I said, 150 is still higher than Degumi could give on buff floors for tower, right? So, you know, Kusakabe for buff floors, which keep in mind we're getting tower, and the next tower floors are when we're going to get more yellow buff floors for Taijutsu especially. I think Kusakabe in tower is going to be tier 0, but we're going to have to see. Right now, I'm more so kind of concentrating on sweep. I really hope he's good for sweep, but that's completely dependent on his damage, which we're going to see on Tuesday. I think we could get higher damage numbers than Yaga, and that would be fine, because Kusakabe's support isn't as high, so if they give him other things to be way better, I think that's good. So like a 14 to 1500% ult for Kusakabe, considering his ult gauge increase, would be good. And then his skill 3, if it's 5 to 600%, I think he's genuinely going to be busted. So that's going to be it. Let me know what you think. Are we happy with these buffs? I am personally, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.